And we continue our conversation with U.S. Senate candidate George Lucia. George, the country right now seems to be very divided, more so than we have seen in many, many years. If you were a United States Senator, what steps would you take to bring the country together?
Well, one of the biggest issues that I see out there, and currently everybody's asking me about, is the immigration issue. And what I find is there's a lot of people out there, and one of the biggest bone of contentions is they want a comprehensive immigration plan or something comprehensive. And when I hear the word comprehensive, it kind of makes me think of the Affordable Care Act, which was a comprehensive health care program, and we saw how that turned out. So I think that you cannot solve immigration with a comprehensive program. It's not with just a bill or a legislation, because you've got the anchor baby situation, which is a constitutional issue, along with illegals having representation, a lawyer, because they're persons, and this requires a little bit of amendment to the 14th Amendment in the Constitution. Then you have the visa overstays, which is another area, whether it's any kind of visa. So that possibly could be handled by legislation or just by presidential order to the State Department, who issues the visas, to put in a section stating that if you overstay your visa, you waive all rights to legal representation and can be subject to immediate deportation. Then you have the people who are here illegally, commit crimes. They should be also able to be, through legislation, immediately deported. The one thing here is that they have is, it's just so many different facets. Even DACA is another area that deals with immigration and that. And it's so convoluted, and so everybody's got their little piece of the pie they want to do it. And if being a businessman and a person who's worked with machinery, you do a little bit at a time. You don't eat the elephant all at once. It's one bite at a time. You take care of the overstays of visas. You take care of probably trying to get a constitutional amendment to take care of. And that's all separate. You can't do it all at once. If you do, then one senator has this thing and the other senator has that thing, and they never get anything done. And that's what you have in Washington today.
You say immigrants should carry some sort of identification.
Correct.
How would that work?
Well, you have either a visa if you're coming in as a student, or you're coming as a worker. Should have a green card, or you should have some kind of identification. Could be similar. Even I would like to see even a citizen identification card. In other words, update the Social Security card into a photo ID card, similar to what I just got a brand new Wisconsin driver's license, and I don't know if you've seen one of those things these days, but that looks like something from outer space. It's got a picture on it, and it's got a hologram on it, and it's got a barcode on the back. Something like that is a citizen identification card, which qualifies you for Social Security and Medicare, Medicaid, and all of the government-funded programs. And if you're not a citizen and you don't qualify for those things, you don't have one of those cards. So you'd have to present that in order to get Social Security or Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, any government-funded program.
Let me turn to the economy. You're a supporter of the president. Are you a supporter of his economic plan so far? Anything that you would change?
I would not change anything in particular about his economic program. I know that my 401k and all my stuff took off 25–30% when he was elected, and kind of flatlined now, but I was happy as heck about that. I think his tax cuts evaded the great, many people have benefited from the tax cut. I personally have not benefited from the tax cut because I'm no longer employed. I'm retired. So I think that in general, the average working man, the one who gets withholding taxes from his paycheck, is going to come out a little bit ahead. It just depends on what state you're in. on the tax cuts. Corporate taxes, I think that he's a reduction down to, I think it's 20% on the corporate tax rate is great. It's one of the reasons I believe that Foxconn came into Wisconsin, was that the federal government made it possible for businesses to locate within the United States, which in turn benefited the state of Wisconsin to get Foxconn, along with what Governor Walker did. And that, in total, is attracting foreign investment and bringing other investment back into the states. I think that the bonuses that they paid also helped from the various corporations.
We shall continue with George Lucia, Senate candidate, right after this, so please stay with us.